Yellow. That is all I have to say. I'm a tired man today. Did a lot of walking with my dog. So I'm gonna virtually do some hiking with a giant sword on my back. I don't know. Does the heavier things your character lift make your brain work harder? I really doubt it. Be convenient if so. You know, like you just play a lot of Final Fantasy VII and suddenly you're better at calculus because of the big buster blade, but alas. I'm pretty sure I did a lot of cleanup stuff around last time, and clearly I used supplies. A lot of stuff to buy here. Not really. Let's see. What is going on with the high rank stuff? Oh, right. I was doing the bowl of chips strategy. Just eating the smallest things and working up. With the exception of, like, gathering quests. Because, like, hunting the small things first, that's like eating the smallest chip first. The gathering quests is being like, this would go really, really good with, like, salsa. But I'd have to go to the store to get it, and I'm probably just going to keep on eating chips, you know? Unless I have to, then it's not worth it for just that one thing. So, yeah, we'll start off with hunting these 2 Argyros. I think it's probably the best path. Argyros doesn't really have any elemental resistance or attacks, so doesn't really matter what I eat there. Just going for the health. Oh, okay, we'll start right next to them. Perfect. Benefit of high rank. Oof. Okay, is this one of those like... Oh, they're both about the same size. They are definitely big, though. Okay. The biggest thing, I think this is actually in this series the first double hunt I've done, right? Like, I don't think I've done any, there's not any mandatory ones, really. Did that one just break its partner's thing for me? That's great. So, double hunt, there's like a few unique rules when it comes to Monster Hunter that tend to be true no matter what game you're playing. But double hunts so as to not make them something that takes an obnoxious amount of time, or roughly the amount of time that it takes to hunt a single monster. You do have to deal with, like, the threat of both monsters, and they hit as hard as normal. But they're, typically, their health is modified. So you don't have to, like, hunt 2 things with 100% of the regular health. You might have to hunt 2 things with, like, half of their health or 75% of their health, so as to reduce the total amount of damage you need to deal to succeed. In practice, it really depends on the monster how bad double hunts are. Some monsters stay really, really close together, like these Argyros are doing right now, and if they're in the same area of the map at the same time, they're probably both going to be aggroed onto simultaneously, which just means more likelihood of things overlapping. Some monsters are really vicious when you're doubled up on them. What a sentence. But T-Rex is really, really bad. Fighting 2 T-Rex is a somewhat legendary struggle. 2 Argyros is... There's a lot going on, but it's not the end of the world. Things like Rathalos and Raytheon, when they're paired up together, actually, depending on your comfort level with those monsters, isn't too bad, because they tend to roam. And one, like, will stay in the air a bit more, one will stay on the ground. When possible, you want to try and single something out. This is kind of true regardless, though. I'm just now coming to the end of a big writing project. I've had this audio drama, audio book, I don't really know what to call it. It's a thing with sounds and characters. And it's coming up to the 20th chapter now. And one of the characters is like a hyper proficient military operator. She is in like a future force of the military, kind of associated with the United Nations, and she is kind of my answer to like, what if Solid Snake was also a Valley girl? But as a result, there are some elements of the character that are just really, really hyper confident, and there comes a point, without spoiling anything, where she is giving a tutorial on first-hand combat, and she opens up with like, if you are outnumbered, try and immediately take care of one if you can. Like, if you see things are going down and people are starting to crowd you, stab one of them in the neck. Just immediately shoot one of them and open up combat that way. Because if you can, within a few moments, bring things down to 3 people against you to 2, you really open up your chances of survival. Those odds turn in your favor a little bit more. And that's kind of what the character is discussing. When you're outnumbered, it doesn't do well to kind of try and hit everything at the same time. You want to reduce the number of things that can hit you as quickly as possible. With the exception of, like, Final Fantasy XIV. If you're playing Final Fantasy XIV, use your AoEs. Hit all the monsters, otherwise this is going to take forever. Which is very true, actually. I've played a little bit of that game lately, and you know, Monster Hunter is nice in a way, because if you're playing it like I am now, you're kind of responsible for how everything goes. Good or bad, slow, fast, whatever. That's on you. When you're playing an MMO, you're kind of inherently chained to the performance of the people you're playing alongside, which can be fun, because I play with a lot of randoms, and I kind of love overcoming a somewhat challenge or like something that's hard to understand with a bunch of random people. You kind of just all met up and figured it out and came out victorious. That can be fun. But right now in the game, there are a lot of new players coming in because of the Xbox beta and the upcoming full release, which is awesome. Like, I have no negativity towards that, because it means the game is going to continue to get people playing it, and the developers are going to continue to see reason to keep with it. And as someone who likes the game, that's all I could ask for. But it does mean if you're someone who plays like a tank and runs roulettes, which kind of like dailies if you play other MMOs, it can give you a random dungeon that you need to run, and you'll tend to get whatever the community or the server is running that day. Sometimes, or if there's a lot of new people starting the game, that means you'll get a lot of stuff from the base game low-level quest. And I was playing something that, when I joined the game, I was like the wave of new people. So everyone that I was playing alongside generally knew all the content, much like I do now. And I remember even then, though, things were pretty quick. I was just kind of like getting dragged along on a leash towards the path of success, which was fine because I didn't know what to do, and that's a way to figure out. But with the total influx of new players, I've very infrequently been running a piece of older content and had almost no one know what to do. So that was fun for me. It was kind of new, but it definitely like took noticeably longer. Like, I can recall just recently having played, being like, I didn't even know this part of the fight existed, because I'm so used to people winning before that point happens. It's kind of fun. Alright, so Argyros is running. I don't think we've spent terribly long on this quest, which I wouldn't expect to, because, like, I don't have full high rank gear yet, but this set is very much a good transitioning set, given that it is Elder Dragon, and it's the end boss of the main low rank quest line. So it's pretty geared towards success. The hits aren't destroying me. But it would be nice to get some high rank stuff. I kind of just need to see what the challenges are going to be, because I wouldn't want to build something that like has no fire resistance and all I need to do is go fight Rathlos for some a period of time. Like, that's not going to help me. And it's weird, too, because sometimes, like, I vary between being the type of player who lives in a wiki and wants to know everything, and someone who is very, like, open-ended and fine with whatever may come. Right now, I'm not really, I feel no pressure to determine what is the best path, or what's the ideal armor set, or what should I be preparing for. Like, when I get there, I'll figure it out. But if I was kind of getting tired of the rank, or I wanted to make some progress, or open up some more options for gear, I would just look at the key quests. I kind of also need money. Things can get expensive. I like to have a float of at least over 100,000 in this game at any point in time. I'm at like 80 right now, which is fine, but I prefer more. Because you just never know when you're going to like come across a really nice set and need to make some choices. Or just buy a bunch of stuff. I didn't realize I had so many things. Discard. Okay, we get some honey too, which I can't complain about. Oh, and one of those was a silver crown, which kind of made sense. When I saw it, I just thought slightly larger than normal. Okay, put away all this stuff so I actually have room to run quests. Cool. Oh, Hunter, I've been meaning to tell you something. You know that Arzuros you recently hunted? Well, ever since that hunt, people have been spotting Arzuros wandering the Moga Woods at night. I'm always keen to keeping I'm always keeping tabs on those woods. Be sure and check the Moga forecast before you leave the village. Okie dokie pokey. Oh, my little puppy is having dreams. That's one of the sweetest things. I think it's a great self-defense mechanism too, because like your dog can be a little brat all day, and then he'll go to sleep and be like, and you're like, oh, you're the best. You didn't drive me nuts at all. Oh, they know what they're doing. He's smart enough to know. I love him aside of this manipulation. Like I allow for it, so it's fine. But he is playing the hand he's been dealt pretty well. Yeah, sure, let's take Thundercaller. I don't even know the benefit. I don't even know what I'm hunting, but you better be ready for Thunder Calling. Okay, Guild Lady, what do you have? What should we do? Kind of getting more check marks across the place. Things are getting cleaned up. Survive until time expires or deliver a paw pass. Why is that so ominous? Limit 50 minutes. I don't understand. Well, you know what? Now I'm actually curious. What is the survive until time expires or deliver a pass? But it's just a Korapeko and a danger sign? Is it a Devilho? Like, what's going to go on here? Okay. Should have brought a Psycho Serum. Oh, wait, I have a Psycho Serum. Nice. Alright, it's all the way over there. And there's only one monster in so far. Psycho Serum would show me all of the monsters on the map if there were more than one. So my guess is the Korapeko is going to call something that's not great. No, I mean, obviously, I don't have a paw pass thing that I can turn in to win the quest, but I'm thinking maybe this quest is like modified, so the drop of this monster gives me the item I need to turn in. Otherwise, why would it still be listed as like a target, right? I don't know. I'm a big fan of Monster Hunter, but I can't purport to have memorized every single quest. There's some pretty famous or awful ones that I have recollections of, and or more accurately, emotional scars from. But not everyone is that way. I've always had like one issue with Monster Hunter, and I guess it depends, you know, maybe it could change in the future. Some games do it better than others. But I find I really want the stuff you get at the end of a Monster Hunter game. Like, take for example, in like Freedom 1. You can go through and progressively, after completing a bunch of quests, you can unlock a monster called Fatalis. And then there's subspecies of it, a crimson one and a white one. And it's a really cool fight. It has a unique arena and has some really cool gear. The issue with it is that, like, the gear kind of comes at the end of unlocking everything in the game. So there's no, like, new or worthy challenge to take the armor and go fight, which is, in and of itself, like, a bit paradoxical, right? Because if there was a next thing, then it wouldn't be the end game thing, and you just kind of keep on making stuff. That's just called building a bigger game. That's not, you know, a fundamental way to change the problem. But it is tough, and I wonder, you know, in a way, if like Monster Hunter needs to eventually become like an MMO. And I say that because, like, if you establish a really strong platform, maybe based on whatever Wilds is going to look like, you could have an infinite number of patches, ongoing quests, content expansions, new lands, whatever, and it would kind of fit the always make bigger things, always make better gear that is so addicting in Monster Hunter. I forgot to use a paintball. Oh well. Maybe that's just me wanting a North American Monster Hunter MMO, because I'm aware of Frontier, which just didn't have a North American release. And it's one thing to wrong way, not have a game in your region. Like, there's usually ways to play games that aren't in your region, so long as you legally acquire the game. The issues kind of come from the obvious language barrier, so there might be no text that you can read at all. And then given that it's an online game, it might be really difficult to apply mods to it, because it's contacting a server, so you maybe, if the files are local, you could apply a translation, but just as likely that could maybe get you picked up by like a anti-cheat or a service that's looking for changes in the files, and then you could get kicked out. And then on top of that, there's the downside of having to probably play through a VPN or connect to a server that's really far away from you. And like, if you need to know what that experience is like, just go on to an Australian gaming forum and read through the top complaints. Is usually, I guess it's in, I don't understand this either. Australia's server prefix is usually OSE. Like, that's the region descriptor. And that's interesting to me because, like, if you look at the website HTTP addresses for different regions, you have like .com, .ca, .eu, and then Australia sometimes is just .au or sometimes is .com.au. But you don't see .ose, so it's clearly like a Oceania type region thing. I don't know. Not familiar with the terminology for things. And I just missed the monster too, so a lot of just running around. Maybe he went up to that hill. But yeah, Australians have to deal with a lot of lag. Unless they get lucky and a game is like, hey, we think Australia might be interested in this. We're going to put a server in this part of the world that more or less won't benefit anyone else. Just going to be folks over there. Which, it's for them, so that's perfect. But not a lot of gaming companies feel like there's value in doing that. So Australians sometimes have to connect to servers that are really far away from them. And inherently, they're just going to be playing at a disadvantage. So, like, local games, not online games, are probably preferred. But that could be, you know, a downside of playing something online. I've always generally, you know, been near a server. Sometimes if, like, I'm unlucky, you'll have a server that's on the other coast of North America. And you'll be like, oh, I have to, yeah, you know, add 45 ping to my connection. The horror. That's definitely, and I can remember even like when I was younger, it was a big thing between me and my brother to have good ping. So my poor mother had to deal with different networking cables getting thrown around her house just for us to try and get our console to tell us we died in a video game a little bit faster. My brother did better at that stuff than I did. I never really clicked with the multiplayer games up until I started playing MMOs. And even then, it's kind of like playing your own game in a world where there are other people. Because I'm not exactly the most social MMO player. Where in the heck did this Quirapeko go? Hey, thank you, game, for hearing my frustration. Quirapeko, I have now paintballed you, so this won't happen again. Jeez. Oh. Ah, that's what I thought. The Devilho was going to show up or something. The thing is like, I'm not that scared of the Devilho. It's kind of just going to like do its thing and yell a lot. And then if we ignore it, we'll probably be fine. Heck, it might even help us because it can hurt the Quirapeko. So, this is not exactly great. Like, it's very much like calling for reinforcements, and then you get somebody who doesn't believe in friendly fire. And it's just like, if you're in my way, you're an enemy. Oh, the effect looks interesting. There's so many generations of the Devilho, like, breath weapon. Some of them are a little bit more opaque. This one's very much playing around with the fact that the Wii U had a GPU and could do a little bit of like transparency and try and make it look prettier. Nowadays, it's tough to say if it looks good or what. I just gotta go over here to heal, but it should be fine. I'm on fire, which is not very ideal. Okay, good enough. Yeah, the Devilho's gonna beat the crap out of the Quirapeko for us. What am I even working for? Yeah, I do think it's a shame that I don't like the armor, because I just feel no motivation to fight Devilho in any edition of the game I find him in. Like, I will if I have to, but I don't know. It looks too, like, knockoff Power Ranger-y is the best way I can describe his gear. It's just not to my taste. I would have liked if, I don't know. There's a really good set in Baldur's Gate 3. I won't spoil anything about who the character is, but there is a character named Ketheric Thorm, and he has a suit of armor. Ooh, I've been pinned. Okay, great. If I had, like, what I guess you would call... Ooh, I don't know what button to press. I'm just getting mauled, which is fine. Yep, that's cool. Just ate me to death. Yeah, if you have dung bombs, you can throw them in that situation, and the thing will stop eating you. That may well be the first cart I've had in this entire series, too. Did I die? I think I died. Like, before? Maybe? I don't know. Either way. That can only happen so many times. Or watch, I'll get pinned and eaten like 24 times. Now, that was not good. Definitely a lot of health lost. But I feel like the Quorapeko isn't really long for this world, so if I just hang out, heal. Right now I have these, like, black lightning bolts surging around me. That's called Dragon Blight. It means I am very affected by anything that deals dragon damage, such as the Devilho's Dragon Breath. So if he gets hit twice, that's basically your life. You are the dead. But yeah, I'm kind of just getting him to fight the Quorapeko for me, which is great. And other than being pinned and not knowing how to get out or what button to press in this edition of the game, you know, pretty sweet. Ooh. Oh, he came with me. That's okay. But if he hits me right here, I will die, because I lost my fancy health benefit. Oh, but the Quorapeko is like, nah, bro. This guy keeps following me, but I am not into it. So he is going to immediately leave again. Which, you know, respect to him. Now, the Devilho very well may follow me. He kind of has unique AI, and that AI indicates that he should just be as annoying as possible. Not as bad as others. Like, he has his skeleton is like a brute wyvern, as I understand it. That's like the type of creature he is. But beyond that, he kind of has like a role in the ecosystem, and he's like a invading predator. There aren't many other species in Monster Hunter that do that, but it is very much his game. He doesn't have a standard environment. He's not known for being one place over the other. He just kind of goes where there is something to eat. Yeah, and then in later games, there's at least one more. It's called Basil Goose. And Basil Goose largely just goes anywhere that you can impersonate World War II bombings, and that's its thing. Oh, geez. I didn't realize that was going to hurt me as much as it did. So I could have a random cart here. We'll see how I can use my stamina. My headset's kind of like beeping at me right now, which I find really annoying, especially considering I know it's fully charged. So it's just like, I don't know. Cranky. And it's frustrating too, because this is the best headset I've ever had in my entire life. And then every now and then, it'll just be like, beep boop. Beep boop. I think it's just a connection issue. Maybe there's like a firmware update. I usually try and keep up with that type of thing. It's the only downside of using anything that's wireless. And with like a headset, it's one of those things that you really do... Like, I like it wireless because I hate having the cord over my shoulder. But just as equally, it's frustrating to have to charge it or not be able to use it if the battery's all toast. I don't know. Not exactly a perfect world there. We need wireless objects that have little fusion batteries in them so they don't need charging. They just work. But then also we probably need better wireless technology in general. And then if we're doing that, like, can we just subvert the laws of physics so that wireless signals can travel faster than they currently can travel? And then, you know, perfect. There we go. Because we're definitely approaching a point with technology where, like, our biggest limitations are the limitations of physics or, you know, how reality works. We're no longer like, oh, gosh darn, I wish we could make electricity out of something. Like, you know, we're very far past solving those rudimentary problems. Now it's big, big things. With some exceptions, too. Some technologies are, like, embarrassingly stupid still. In a way that doesn't really make sense, and you would think could not be the case. But they definitely have it. Or some things that seem complex aren't. Like, you look at a capacitor, and you're like, oh, a capacitor, that's probably... There's something magic in there. There's like a robot in this little... you know, cube-shaped thing. Or not cube-shaped, cylindrical-shaped thing. And then in reality, it's like some cardboard and some oil and like a little thin plate of metal and some wire, maybe. It's like, it's nothing complex at all. And in some of them, some capacitors can literally have like paper in them as a medium to hold whatever fluid it is that's being used as like a coil to dispense the charge or hold the charge. That's why it's actually possible for capacitors to leak, is that there is like a fluid in them. Not like a bottle of water fluid, you wouldn't see that. But kind of what you could imagine, like a lubricant, maybe the right amount that's a good idea. It's enough to coat everything, but not to drown it. DeVilho, get out of the way. I'm not even trying to fight you, bro. Oh, now the Quirapeko left and I didn't paintball it again. Okay, but it's going a direction that's easier to chase it. I just have to get there without the DeVilho mauling me. Very fun times. Great. Oh, hey, look, it's right here. Hi, Quirapeko. Why are you calling for that dude who's hitting you as much as he's hitting me? No doubts he's going to be here in a moment now. Definitely this fight has gone on for longer than I was projecting, so... Kudos to the quest. Survive until the time limit is, I guess, more reasonable than I thought. Oh, hey, look at that. Okay. Well, since I didn't paintball him again, I gotta watch the shadow. Is he going forwards, backwards, this way? Cool. Oh. You know, it's kind of a given, but definitely one of the toughest things about Monster Hunter is that there aren't any health bars for the monsters. Like, even compared to Dark Souls or Elden Ring or whatever, you have that health bar. You know roughly how reasonable it is to try and, like, get that last hit, if you should push a little bit, if you should not be greedy. The answer is you should never be greedy, but it's good to be able to kind of have an idea of, okay, this is the last hit. I can run in right now. 4 monsters left. What the heck? What did I sign up for? Well, okay. I went into this thinking it was just going to be a fun little quest to do in between some things, but now it looks like this will be this video, but that's fine. Well, Monster Hunter 3U is just a massive game. I kind of knew it's going to be a long game. I was going to have a lot of videos on it. I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes my longest series, just because of the inherent length and the amount of things to do to get to that end. But yeah, if I have to survive until the end of this, jeez. I don't really know how to get the paw pass. Maybe that's actually what the DeVilho has. So if you hunt him, you get the fancy thing. Yeah, because unless they're going to throw, like, 4 Jagia at me, I feel like that's a pretty big hunt. Try and finish things off. 24 minutes left, so... I mean, I guess if the worst of it is I just bum around for a while, that's fine. Is there anything useful I can do with my time here? Mine? Maybe try and find a carpenter bug? This should be high rank, so at least that is going for me. Clearly not, though. I'm just getting Mocholate and iron. Ugh, gross. Yeah, I'm extra tired because I've just been alongside my wife walking the dog a lot. He's a almost perfect little dude, and the only thing kind of creating that almost is true to his breed, which is a corgi. He is very alert, ready. He is, at a moment's notice, ready to make you crap your pants with sudden loudness. And it's exacerbated when he's on his leash. He sees another dog that he wants to become best friends with and star in a romantic comedy. And he is unable to pursue those dreams. And he screams into the void to express this dissatisfaction. So really, it's like if he's at a play park or something, he's off leash, he's hanging out with other dogs. Totally fine, no issues at all. He might, if he's like running around and getting a little bit into it, he might like playfully do a little bit of barking. But nothing like the deterrent of murderers that he does if he's just hanging out on the balcony in the sun having a relaxing afternoon and any other dog dares walk on the sidewalk. This is the greatest of travesties, so he refuses. And you know, I'm a first-time dog owner, so I don't know all the tricks. I don't know many tricks. I have a few. He's taught them to me. You know, there have been some resources and some shows my wife has put on that can equip you for a little bit. But sometimes you just have to have the experience as well, be a part of it. And I got lucky with a dog that's a very good disposition. Much like these felines who are just chill. So is he. Like, if you're just hanging out, no complaints. Cuddles with you in the morning, sleeps through the night. Learns tricks pretty well. Just the nature of the breed. You know, herding dogs, they want to be in control. They want you to listen. They want to organize where things go and when people do them. But he's a dog, so he doesn't get that power. And teaching him the lesson is a process. Boop. Boop. Oh, carbolite ore. I definitely want that. Let's put away this one herb. Yeah, no harm there. No, at least there's lots of stuff to mine. Gives me something to do with all this time. The quest doesn't change, right? Yeah, okay. So just survive until the time ends. I would find another monster, but nothing really popped up. You know, whatever. I have, like, no stamina now. I guess that's my fault for hanging out in this cave. It's cold, and I didn't have a drink to keep me warm. The horror. Yeah, I literally have, like, enough stamina for one roll. That's the end of me. I have actually historically had to win fights that way, but it is torturous. It is not worth it. It's not a fun time. I'd recommend it to exactly 0 people. Yeah, this is a weird quest. Definitely a weird quest. Because even if I was supposed to fight more than the original Quirpeco, there don't seem to be 4 other monsters on this map to hunt. So I do suspect that the Vilho has the pass. Had I set out to hunt him, I probably could have, but now I do not have the time. He has a lot of health. So while we see him here, I don't have high grade earplugs. Yeah. He's not great. But I don't think the little bit of time we have left is enough to take care of his health. Yeah, 17 minutes is just not gonna do. Yeah, I'll just take a real world nap for these 17 minutes. That's entertaining, right? Like, I think there's a genre that's just not really well spoken to of people killing time like they would in real life. You're like, oh, this quest isn't going to pop up for 20 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go take a smoke break and then just leave a pause screen going for a good while. Maybe in like the background, you can hear a screen door, but only every now and then, not every time. You know, you think you hear an argument, but it's not. It's just some people, like, chatting about something. No. That's a really dumb subgenre. Like, that'd be something that would be interesting in a very postmodern book as a throwaway joke that you don't make very significant to the plot. Beyond that silliness. Can I... What is going on? Why can't I jump off this cliff? This is, like, jumping off cliff 101. It wasn't letting me. Oh, okay, I had to run, but I have no stamina. I'm dumb. Oh, hey, look, another Quirpeco. I mean, like, there's no way I'm going to be able to kill it, but it gives me something to do. Cool. Wow, the first break did not take long. I don't know what piece it was on, though. Though, you know what? If you're playing Monster Hunter and you're one of those people that likes to do, like, practice trials with weird restrictions, try and do a hunt where you can only roll once at any given point in time. Or just burn your stamina down to this amount and then go do a fight. Because it's totally possible, depending on the fight that you're doing, but you really have to think about when you're running, when you're not running, when do you need your rolls, when is it just, like, convenient to use them. Often limitations make us better at whatever we're trying to do, you know, because we have to find creative ways to circumvent them, or find better strategies that don't involve just kind of brute forcing victory as much. That's one of those things that, like, we love to automate away a lot of the hard work, and I understand that desire. But it's important to remember how to do some of the base or important stuff as well. Like, I've been in a position over the past few years where I teach about API, or Application Programming Interface, very specifically a REST API. Uh, and if you're not into tech stuff, it doesn't matter what that is. But basically, there's a lot of ways to automate the usages and testing of API. And automation is great. It's useful. It lets you save time. But before anyone gets to the point of automation, I always try and impart how important it is to know how to manually do something, so that you know at least what the automation is doing. And if you're encountering issues, you can kind of rule out or test against that portion of something. It's so easy for us to obfuscate parts of a process, make it hard to comprehend or see, and then you forget that it's part of the process. And that's a bad habit when it comes to doing something well. And the same thing is true for Monster Hunter. If you want to know when to position yourself the best, how to get into ideal positions, it's really great to know how to do it with very few benefits, so that when you have all the good things, you know how to appreciate them and make extra good use of them. I would argue the same is true for automating your API testing. Boop. Boop. Oh, is he going now? Bro, that wasn't very engaging. Don't leave. We could have been the best of friends here in Area 10. Area 10 buddies, come on. Now we're going down south to Area 9. I don't know who lives in this neighborhood. It's fine, it looks okay, but I don't know why we needed to move, man. And look, now I'm on fire. Like, I wasn't on fire in Area 10. Ugh. Just sound like a very ungrateful child on a road trip I didn't ask for. $10? Well, we'll probably live. It'd be cool if I could get some more health from one of my, peoples. Oh no. Well, now I should probably... Oh no. I'm being chased. With very little health, I guess I'll go back and sleep in the bed that I have, because I'm all out of healing items. But there is no Devilho here, so it looks like it'll be a pretty safe trek. I feel like saying that summons him, though, so I should be more cautious. Okay, cool. I get to go all the way to the bed and heal safely. What is this farce? I think I pop out in area 9 if I swim, right? I'll give it a go. The worst that can happen is I have to go the other direction. Yeah, I have no capacity to swim faster, and if I try, I just immediately struggle. Cool. Okay, we'll run in behind him, hoping that the DeVilho hasn't filled in, and again, I don't really expect to win with these last few minutes, but worth making the attempt. And hey, maybe this was a required quest and I had to do it anyways. I literally don't know. It could be. Oh hey, he's calling the thing. Aw, now I'm on fire again. But really not much time left in the quest, so that's nice. 6 minutes? That's nothing. Oh, that was definitely the wrong roll direction. Oh, well. Oh, hey, look. The thing that I didn't want to have happen is here. Love it. Can we try and get away before that roar? No. If I can hit a single hit here, I'm dead, but... Yeah, that was pretty cocky of me, I'm not gonna lie. If I die here, like, that's fair. It's not what I would call an ideal turnout, but it's one I understand. No, looks like I get out. Wow. My inability to run is not a deterrent to my survival. Kind of surprising. Yeah, I didn't really expect to get trapped in this quest the whole time, but at least it looks like I'm gonna succeed for the time spent. That's great. Couldn't even make the good thing that I wanted. Okay, where's the Quirapeko flying to? It's going down here. Oh, awesome. Quirapeko, come here. We are now allies. In these final moments of the quest. Will I be able to capture you? I don't think it matters, but worth, I like any kind of like time challenge with something that you spend a lot of time doing. Can you do it this fast? Ooh. Oh. Stop paying attention there for a second. Oh, I could get got here, but it looks like he's focused on Kiamba, so I should be okay. Yeah, this move, I think it's always, it's about picking good angles to be away from it on. Because it's very easy for it to, like, jump straight at you. But if you're constantly kind of circling around it, it has a harder time determining the right place to go to get you. It's definitely like low health, but I don't think like the sub 5 minutes we have is going to be enough to finish it off. Maybe if I had... Ooh, this is a bad situation. The ability to capture it. Yeah. Oh no. I thought surviving until the end of the time was exactly what I had to do, right? Okay, it didn't say I failed. It just said time's up. So, quest failed. Why? Did I waste all that goddamn time? It just said survive. These quests are stupid sometimes. Well, what a waste of time, but that's okay. I guess that's, great disappointment, but that's where we're gonna end off. So thanks for watching Monster Hunter 3U. See you around next time. Thanks. Bye.